Good morning. How's everybody doing?
Hi, Ms. Clausen.
Good morning. Happy Monday. While we're waiting for everyone, try these problems. You can just privately chat me your answers when you have them.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll do our Mindfulness Monday after we get some more people here.
You know, we're getting towards the end of our class, and I still have my video set up as living room.
Yeah, I was just ignoring it. It was after the baby. You had it set up before the baby, and then after the baby, it changed to living room. So I just figured you were fine.
Sorry.
Hello, hello. Try those warm-ups and you can just send them to me in a private chat while we're getting everybody else in and settled. All right, so you're just doing those warm-ups. I'm checking them in the chat. And then we'll do our Mindfulness Monday in a minute. All right. So let's take a look at these. If you're not done, that's okay. You can check them as we go. So find the following. Find 5% of 28,000. So anyone know how to do that? A lot of you got it right in the chat. I'm just wondering what mathematics you did.
I multiplied 28,000 by 0.05.
Very nice. 28,000 times 0.05. And you should get 1,400. Excellent. Now on these last two, it's rounding. And when it says round to the nearest cent, that's the second place, which is also the 100th place. So in rounding is really important in loans, especially, but in all of finance. So since this is a 4, instead of changing this 6 to a 7, we're just going to leave it alone. So we get $879.16. On this next one, since that next number is a 5, we're going to round up. So we get $1,006.25. Any questions on that rounding? That's where I still see a lot of mistakes. All right, so those of you with your video off, tell me why or turn them on, right? We all want to see everyone. Yeah, it's so much better when we can see your faces. So no questions on that rounding. I do want to do a payout annuity problem because, boy, we had some difficulty with that worksheet that was turned in on Friday. I did grade all those worksheets. Did you take a look at them? I graded them last night. You should be able to see them now and see the feedback. Okay, so make sure you take a look at those. We're going to do one of those in a minute, but first I want to do our Mindfulness Monday exercise. So, because it's important, today's Mindfulness Monday is about stress. And I just suspect that some of you are feeling a little bit of stress right now, right? So I want us to keep that in perspective and make sure that we can handle our stress in these last couple hard weeks that we have ahead of us, okay? So I'm going to share my screen. If you want to turn your video off until we're done with this, you can. I just shared the wrong thing. So that was super fun. I'm going to do better this time. There we go. So you can hear it. And then it's about 3 minutes long. Okay.
Befriending stress. Welcome to Mindfulness at Wellbridge. Today's exercise is about befriending stress. So take a moment to arrive and settle in and simply notice yourself sitting. As you sit, know that you're sitting. And as you breathe, just know that you're breathing. And as you're sitting, notice the position of your legs in the chair or the cushion. Noticing that some muscles actually need to be engaged and maybe even a little stressed in order to maintain the position that it's in. Take a moment to just notice how those muscles have to be engaged right now. And as you observe which muscles need to be a little tense, you might also notice which muscles in the legs don't need to be stressed. Where is there an absence of any tension in the body? Being open and curious and just interested in where there might be stress in this particular part of the body, befriending it and getting to know why there might be any tension in that space. And similarly, befriending any absence of stress there. And now I invite you to do a brief body scan from head to toe, noticing where else in the body you might be noticing stress or tension. Sometimes we hold stress between the eyebrows or in the jaw. At other times, we'll hold stress in the neck and shoulders, or maybe even the back. In this moment, we're just being curious about where there might be stress held in the body and befriending it, getting to know what it's having to say. Not trying to change anything about it, just acknowledging it. And continue scanning the body, noticing where there is stress and where there might be an absence of stress. Throughout the day today, you might do a body scan, just noticing where you're holding tension or stress in that moment, recognizing that in order to do something about it, we have to recognize that it's there. As we become increasingly mindful, we become increasingly aware of the body. And the more aware of the body, the more we can become aware of how to regulate what's happening inside. Thanks for practicing with me today, and I look forward to seeing you next time.
All right. So I don't know what you thought about that one. I was a little worried when I saw it and it was like befriending stress. I was like, no, stress is not my friend, right? But then I did the exercise and I thought, oh, okay, I understand. Like sometimes I don't notice where I'm holding my stress until the night. I don't know if that's like you work all day, you're doing stuff all day, and then all of a sudden you take a breath and you sit down and you're like, oh my gosh, my neck hurts so bad, and you cannot figure out why your neck hurts, but it's because you've been holding stress there all day. Yeah, anyone else hold their stress right in their neck? Yeah, that's where mine is a lot, and right here, right in between my eyes. Sometimes I'll have a terrible headache and I won't know what it's from. Well, hello, it's from stress. So the whole idea of that is before we can help our stress, we need to know where we hold that stress, and then we can do something about it. So keep that in mind over the next couple stressful weeks for you. Some of you are like, wait, stressful weeks? It's my whole life is stressful all the time, right? I get it, but maybe just think of these small pieces at a time. Let's just get through the end of the semester, right? First, and say we can do it, you know, if we pay attention and take care of ourselves. Sometimes we don't take care of ourselves, and especially right now where we're super stressed, and then we get sick. Yeah, anyone, does that happen to anyone? Because we're not sleeping as well, we're not taking care of our bodies, and then we get sick because of it. So be real careful and take care of yourself. Are you talking to me?
Sorry, no.
Oh, okay. Did you have something to say, a comment to make to us?
No, I'm good.
Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, so really take care of yourself and be mindful of how you cope with stress, because that's really important in finishing strong this semester, and then also just being healthy, right? And having a healthy lifestyle. Okay. I want to go over this problem, and this is from PF8 worksheet. If you got all of PF8 worksheet right, that's totally fine. This is a good, this is just good practice for us to make sure we remember what we're doing, okay? So if you have the PF8 worksheet, you can pull it up. If you don't, it's fine. So Mike wants to be able to withdraw $10,000 from his retirement account every quarter for 10 years. That's what he wants to take out of his retirement account. He's going to retire in 15 years. He's not close yet, right? He still has 15 years till retirement. So he has an account that earns 8% quarterly. How much does he need to deposit each quarter right now during these 15 years in order to accomplish his goal? Okay. So when you read that problem, what do you think about it? What do we need to find? What do we need to do? Give me some info here.
First thing that pops out is like, you have 10 years and you have 15 years, you have 15 years again. So then I'm trying to figure out what parts of the question do I need to answer first.
That's so important. Thank you, Tashina, for saying that, because that is a hard part, right? Like, what is really going on? What do I need to be doing right here? Because when they give you 2 times, that should give you a hint that this is a 2-part problem, right? We have something happening first, and then we have something else happening. So we might need that information in order to complete the problem, right? So, and some of you, I think you thought, oh, I'm getting so good at the TVM solver, and then you got every problem wrong on the worksheet, right? Yeah, you're like, wait, what happened? I thought I knew what I was doing. Well, what happened was you're good at plugging in things when they tell you exactly what it is. But when you have to decide where the number goes or which number you're solving for, that's when it gets more complicated. So some of you need to practice that, or you need to switch to formulas, because formulas, you won't have any trouble once you plug in the numbers, but you do have to figure out which formula to use. Yeah. Okay. So let's take this information and let's go to this worksheet. That's not the right one. Just so we have some room. Okay. So we have part 1 and part 2. Okay. And it's kind of backwards how we solve it. So we have part 1 and then we have part 2. Part two is where we get our final answer. So part one, the first thing we have to figure out is how much he needs in his account at retirement. That's what we need to know, right? Okay, so how much does Mike need at retirement? Then after we know that, we can go to part two and say, okay, how does he save that much money, right? All right, so those are the two things. So we might know some things. So part one, we're talking about when he is retired. So how long is he going to be retired for? How long is he going to pull that money out?
For 10 years, he wants to be able to pull it out.
Yeah, so our time is going to be 10 years, right? Whereas how long does he have to save the money?
The 15.
Yeah, yes, 15 years to save the money. Does that make sense? If you're one who got most of the questions wrong on the worksheet, or if you got number 5 wrong on the worksheet, you can look right now in Canvas. You should be asking questions and answering questions right now so we make sure you know how to do it. Okay, now we know his interest rate, either R is 0.08 or I is 8 on both of these, right? Because he's getting 8% on both of them. We also know that it's quarterly on both of them. So lowercase n is going to be equal to 4, or cy and py are going to be equal to 4. Notice that's lowercase n, right? Okay, so what is this $10,000? Does it go to part one or part two? And what part of the formulas or the TVM is it?
Is it for part two because he wants to?
It actually goes to part one because he's going to take out 10,000 every quarter. And remember, we need to figure out how much he needs at retirement. So it's in reverse order, Lee. I think you were thinking, okay, they save for retirement first. Mike saves for retirement first, and then he spends his money. But since we need the part two information first, we have to call it part one. Does that make sense? It's a little weird. So because we have to figure out how much he needs at retirement before we know how much he needs to save each quarter for that retirement. So that $10,000 is our PMT or our payment. Okay. That 10,000 is our PMT or our payment. I'm going to write payment here, because on the TVM we put it in negative, on our formula we do not. Now, on this part right here, if I was going to pick a formula, here's my finance formulas. Here's all my finance formulas. Which formula do I need if I want to figure out how much money he needs to have in his account at retirement if he wants to take out $10,000 each quarter? Which formula would I need? And I can show you the whole page if you want. Don't look at any of those marks. Those are from the other day. So which section of the formula sheet do you need and which formula do you need? Okay, so you want FV and you want FV. Do you think it's FV? So I'm guessing you think it's right here. Lily, is that where you think it is? Okay, so are we in an ordinary annuity when we're pulling out $10,000 each month for 10 years? No. So it's not that part. Do you see how it's a payout annuity? Because we're taking money out. So it's going to be down here in payout annuity. So am I looking for my payment or am I looking for my principal or my present value? In part one, where I'm thinking about how much money do I need in my retirement account if I take out $10,000 each quarter for the next 10 years? Do I want P or payment? Get it ready in the chat. Everybody put it in the chat, either P or payment. If I'm taking out $10,000 each quarter for the next 10 years, am I solving for P or present value, or am I solving for payment? Everybody got it ready? Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, we have some people saying P and some people saying payment. Herein lies the problem, right? How do we know what it is? Tell me about the 10,000 again. Remember the 10,000 from the problem? Tell me about that $10,000. Is it the amount in his account at the start, or is it an amount he takes out on a regular basis? It's an amount he takes out on a regular basis. So that's a payment. So I don't want to use the payment formula because I already have my payment. So I'm going to use the P formula for that if I use a formula. So this is the formula I'm going to use. If I use a formula, I'm going to use the payment formula right here. I'm sorry, I just circled the wrong one. I just said I didn't need the payment formula. We need this, the P equals, because we know our payment. Okay, we know our payment. So you can use that formula, or you can use the TVM solver. If you use the TVM solver, what are you solving for? Oops, I forgot I. No one knows. Oh, maybe somebody just put it in the chat. Thank you. Yeah, we're solving for PV. That's what we want. We want PV. So this is what we're solving for. Okay, so if we use our formula, just going to write the formula on here so we have it. It's going to get really messy. 1 plus r over n to the nt minus 1 divided by r over n divided by 1 plus r over n to the n times t. Okay, so now what do I put for n here in this problem? In my TVM, just for part 1, what do I put in for n?
40.
40, how'd you get it?
I multiply 10 years by 4.
Exactly. Yeah, every quarter for 10 years. So 40, good job. We already know that our interest rate, what is our interest rate? Yeah, and I want some people who are a little bit nervous about answering to answer. All right, what's the interest rate? I. Anyone tell me what I is? Matt, Zevi, Lee, Lily, Ruki.
0.08.
Okay, so if I put it in the
8% for
TVM,
TMV.
if I put it in the TVM, I'm going to put 8, right? If I put it in the formula, I'm going to put 0.08. So I'm going to put 0.08 if I put it in the formula. Good. Thanks for putting it in the chat, guys. Good job. I know we all tried to talk at once. Okay, so we're going to put PV as 0 right now because that's what we're solving for. What do I put for PMT?
10,000.
Yeah, and I usually put it in the TVM as negative 10,000, right? Because I'm taking out that money. I can't remember if I really put it in as negative or not. Most of the time I forget, and then I just change my answer. If you're putting it in here, you're going to put in 10,000. For FV, what do I put for FV? This is after my 10 years. How much money do I want in my account after 10 years of retirement?
Would that be the blank one?
Nope, the blank one we already said is this one, PV. Remember PV, because we want to know how much they need at retirement. So after 10 years, they want it to be gone. They want to use all that money in 10 years. Okay, so that's going to be 0. PY and CY are going to be 4. Yes? Okay, everybody solve that, whether you use the formula or you use TVM. Solve that and get it ready in the chat, but don't hit go yet. Okay, does everybody have their answer? Okay, let's put your answer in the chat. 3, 2, 1, go. Nice. A lot of us got the same answer of $273,554.79. Right now, let's make sense of that because a lot of you don't understand. Do I have the right answer? Do I not have the right answer? What is happening? So that amount is the amount he needs at the start of retirement in order for him to pull out $10,000 each quarter for 10 years. Does everybody understand that? That's why we solved for PV, because that's how much he needs in his account at retirement, the day he retires. So we're solving for PV, okay? Just for part 1. Okay, any questions on how we got that? All right, so now for part 2. Now we want to know how much he's going to put in that account each quarter in order to have $273,554.79 when he retires. He has 15 years to save up that much money, right? That's what he has. So now, which one of these am I solving for? Get it ready in the chat. Tell me which one I'm solving for. Okay, if you're using a formula, that's fine. Just tell me what I'm solving for. Okay, you ready? Everybody has something typed in the chat. 3, 2, 1, go. So now we have more confusion. This is the problem. Okay, so it says, how much will he need to deposit each quarter during the first 15 years? So if he's making deposits over and over and over again, is that future value? No, it's payment. We want to know how much money he has to put in the account each quarter. So as soon as you hear how much each quarter, you know you're solving for payment. Yeah, so that's what we're solving for. We're solving for payment. Now, if you're using a formula and you want to find out the payment, which formula do you use? He doesn't have anything in his account right now. We want to know how much he puts in each quarter to have $273,554.79 in the account after 15 years. So which formula will we use?
Payment equals?
Tell me which part of the formula sheet I need to look at.
Oh, in the payout annuity, the payment equals P over R N.
So this one right here that I already have highlighted?
The other
Or this
one.
one? This one.
That one.
Okay,
I
is this a payout annuity? Is he getting this money or is he paying this money?
Oh,
If he's trying to save $273,000, is he paying this into it each quarter or is he taking the money out each quarter? Do you see how this is the hardest part? Do you see why you're getting the answers wrong? Because you don't know, and that is problematic. We need to look at ordinary annuities because he's saving money. He's not getting this money yet. He's getting the $10,000 after he has it saved. But right now he's saving the money. So we need to solve for payment here. This is the formula we need. Yeah, that's the formula we need. If you're using formulas, if you're using the TVM solver, you don't need that formula, but you need to know which part of the TVM to put it in. Oh, sorry, I went to the wrong page. There we go. So we know our N. What's our N right now? What's our N in part 2? 60. Thank you, V. Where'd you get 60, Annie and V?
15 times 4. 15.
Nice. 15 years and it's quarterly. So 15 times 4. Interest rate is 8. Does Mike have anything saved right now? No, he does not. You're
I thought
trying
that's
to
what we were doing in the first part.
No, the first part is you figure out how much he has to have saved at retirement. But he's not retired yet. He's 15 years away from retirement. Right? He's 15 years away from retirement. So he doesn't have anything saved. This is what we're solving for payment. We want the future value to be this. We want it to be $273,554.79. That's why we want to figure out how much he needs to save each quarter to get to this. And then these are still fours. I know you guys think they're not fun, but this is probably the most important thing you're learning, right? Because you're right now, Mike. You're Mike. How long is it till you retire? How much do you want when you retire? This is a very realistic, practical problem for you, right? So you need to think about this. You need to make sense of it. I know it's hard. But once you do a few of them and think it through, maybe you need to draw a picture, right? That would help you. So see, I'm not kidding when I say draw a picture. So here's Mike, right? Here's today. No money in the bank. He got nothing, right? That's where Mike is right now. He has 15 years to save. Yeah. And then here's retirement. Right? And then for 10 years after retirement, he wants to take out $10,000 each quarter. And then after 10 years, he wants nothing in his bank. So this is the timeline we're looking at, right? So the first thing we did was figure out how much money he needs here. That's our $273,554.79. Then we went back here and we said, okay, how much does he need to save? That's what we're doing now. So do you see how it's a little bit backwards? Okay. All right, so maybe this picture will help you. Draw it out if you need to. So now can you figure out what his quarterly payment needs to be? And if you use the formula, we already talked about, you would use the payment ordinary annuity formula. But so here's the problem. Actually, go ahead and get the answer. Type it in the chat. Don't hit enter yet. So figure out the answer to part 2. Get it ready in the chat and then we'll talk. You ready? Does everybody have their answer? Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. There you go, $2,398.52, because we're solving for payment right here. Remember, I highlighted what we were solving for. So $2,398.52. So now make sense of this. Mike needs to start saving today. He's going to save $2,398.52 each quarter and put it in the bank for the next 15 years. After 15 years, he will end up with $273,554.79 in the bank. Then he's going to stop paying into his retirement and he's going to start withdrawing $10,000 each quarter for the next 10 years, and then all his money will be gone. So do you see where you are making your mistake? It's not a mathematical mistake. It's a thinking mistake. It's a problem-solving mistake, right? And so here's the problem. When you take your test on Thursday or Friday of this week, your quiz on Thursday or Friday of this week, if you put the wrong number in the wrong place, I can't give you very much credit, because that's not understanding the problem. That's like choosing the wrong formula, yeah? So you have to be really, really careful and practice some of these so you understand them. And it's not easy, it's hard work, right? Once you have the right formula or you know what you're solving for, it's fine because it's just touching the buttons, right? Okay, any questions on this problem? My recommendation would be to go back to that worksheet and do number 4 on that worksheet if you got it wrong. Okay. Some of you are like, oh, I'm so worried for the test now, right? It's okay. It's okay. Calm down. That's why we did our little stress thing first. And take your review, start on your review today, or hopefully you already started on it, right? Don't wait to start your review until Wednesday or Thursday. It's not helpful then. You got to look at, see what you don't understand first, and then you can go back and learn it. If you start too late, there's not enough time. All right, any questions on that? You're like, so many questions, my head is spinning, right? I don't even know what's happening. Okay, I want to go here first and then we'll talk about loans. Let's look at our schedule for this week. Today, tomorrow, and probably part of Wednesday, we will be doing loans. Okay, so we're just going to keep doing loans. Then we're going to start reviewing on Wednesday. We'll review Wednesday and Thursday, and then you can take the test anytime after class Thursday or anytime Friday. Okay, we're not taking the test in class. I want to make sure we review as much as possible before you take that test. Then we'll have a couple days on dimensional analysis and proportional reasoning. Then on the 12th, we start presentations. Notice that your vehicle project is due 1 week from today, parts 4 through 7, right? You did parts 1 through 3. Now you have parts 4 through 7. After today's lesson, you can do the vehicle project. So you don't have to wait. After I give you the information from today, you'll be fine. Okay? Remember, we don't have class on the 13th. Okay, because I'm going to be in Omaha, Nebraska, watching my son graduate. Okay, so, but Wednesday we'll start presentations, and then the rest of your presentations will be Monday the 17th. So we're going to take a little pause for everybody to process. I have 6 slots for Wednesday the 12th to do final presentations, and I have 7 slots on Monday the 17th to do presentations. So I'm just going to open it up to you. Who would like to present on the Wednesday, the 12th? You want the very first one, Judith, on the 12th? All right, Judith is going to go on the 12th. Excellent, I got you down. So I need 5 more people for the 12th.
Yeah, I'll do it on that. I'll do it on the 12th too.
Zach, excellent. Who else wants the 12th?
Yeah, I think I can do it. 12.
Ruki, okay. Anyone else? 2 more. 2 more. Oh, Zevi. 1 more. They're going fast. 1 more. Oh, Lily. Lily was a little nervous on that, but it's okay, Lily. You'll do great. Okay. So that means everybody else goes on the 17th. Okay. So do you have a preference of who goes first? Does anybody want to go first on the 17th?
I'll go first on the 17th.
All right. Josh is going first. Anyone want to go last? You're like, save me because mine's going to be the best. Lily, you're last on Wednesday. Okay, so you're good. You're last on Wednesday. All right, so nobody cares then? We have our first, so I'll just put you guys, let's see, we have V, Brady, who is left? Tashina. Who am I missing? Annie. Vanessa. I should have 1 more. Who am I missing? Matt. You're it. Okay. Okay. So I'll send you an email reminding you when you're going. Okay. Whether you're going on Wednesday or if you're going on Monday. So I have Wednesday, Judith first. Yeah. And then we have Lee, Zach, Ruki, Zevi, Lily. Okay. That's Wednesday's schedule. Then Monday, I have Josh first. Okay. And then V, Brady, Tashina, Annie, Danessa, and Matt. Yay! Okay, so now you know exactly when you're gonna go. So, and Judith's like, let's get it done. I like that, Judith. Yeah, that's how I would be too. I would be, well, maybe I wouldn't go first. I don't know. I always feel nervous that I would go first, but I would definitely go really early. That would be for sure. So I'm on the same page as you, Judith. Yeah, get it over with, right? Otherwise, the whole time other people are presenting, I'm just anxious, right? Yeah, that's what happens to me. Oh, yeah. Yep, exactly. You did. Then you sit back and relax, right? I get it. That's for sure. Okay. All right. So that's all we have left. I know. Are you excited? Yeah, I know. Okay. So now let me talk about loans. Has anyone had a car loan before? All right, Tashina, you and me. Okay. So
Yeah, I have now.
Oh, and Ruki had her hand up. Sorry, couldn't see it. So good. So a few of us have had car loans before. So I don't know if you even knew this, those of you that have had car loans or those of you that have not, but when they calculate your payment, they always round up on this last cent. So right here, if we look at this, oops, sorry, if we look at this, remember that problem that we did on warm up? Let's say your payment came out to $879.16432. Well, if we were following rounding rules, we would have just made it 16 cents, right? But not on loans. If it's a loan payment, only on loan payments, they round up no matter what. Okay, if there's anything left over, they make it the next cent. So they would make your payment $879.17. And the reason they do that is, think about this. If you have any amount right there, this is almost half a penny, right? So if you only make it 16 cents, you're shorting it half a penny every single month. And so when you get to the end, your last payment will be more than all your other payments. That's not good. People don't want that, right? And it's definitely the bank that's loaning your money doesn't want that. They'd rather have your money earlier. So they round up, so you're overpaying by whatever that amount is, in this case, about half a penny each month. And then, so your payoff, right? Ruki and Tashina can attest to this. Your last payment is never the same as your monthly payment, right? It's usually a little bit less. Yeah. So, and that's what's happening. So just keep that in mind, and especially keep it in mind because when you're doing your more assignments, if you're not rounding up on payments from loans, you'll be off by a penny every time and you'll be so irritated. Okay. So remember that. Okay. So round up on loans, payments only. Okay. You can still use the TVM solver. Here's good news. There's only two loan formulas, either principal or payment. So in other words, the questions are going to be, if you can afford a $300 car monthly payment, what's the highest car you can afford, right? What's the biggest car loan you could afford? That would be this one. If they say, oh, I want to buy a $20,000 car, how much will my payment be? That's this one. Okay, so only two choices here. I think that's kind of nice. So let's try a problem. And as soon as we get through this one problem, you can do your vehicle project, the whole thing. Okay. Oh my gosh. Hello, Tashina. Hello, Tashina's friend. So cute. I love that red hair. Okay, so let me put the handout in the chat for you. Apparently I'm having copying issues. Okay, here we go. Here we go. And when you get your handout, it's going to look like this. This will be the first problem with Marie. Marie can afford $250 per month on a car payment. She can get a loan at 7% interest for 5 years. I'll give everybody a second to get that handout. All right. So when we're doing this problem, we have to decide which formula we want to use. So it says she can afford $250 per month, right? So what is that value? Is that the principal or is that the payment? Do we know the payment or do we not know the payment?
We know the payment is
Yeah, we know the payment.
$250.
Exactly. So we're going to use this formula right here because this is where I put the payment. So since I know the payment, I'm looking for how much of a car, how expensive of a car can I afford? Okay. So this is the formula you use if you use formulas. If you use the TVM, we're going to solve for which value? If we're going to use the TVM, which value are we going to solve for?
For PV.
PV, very nice. What should FV be then?
What we would have paid after we've paid off our car loan.
Yeah, it should be 0, right? We don't owe
Yes.
anything. Our future
Yes.
value should be 0. All right, so we're going to say future value is 0. Interest rate is 7. I know that, right? What's N, capital N in this TVM?
60.
Yeah, how'd you get that, Rookie?
I multiply by 5 and 12.
Very nice. 12 times 5 is 60 months. Excellent. And our payment is that $250. This is what we're solving for, PV. PY and CY should be 12 because car payments are per month. So that's how we're charged interest as well, monthly. Okay. If you want to use the formula, you would use that formula. I'll write down the generic one. P equals payment 1 minus 1 plus R over N to the negative N times T divided by R over N. All right, so do this on the TVM or in the formula and get your answer ready in the chat. Everybody's going to get this one right. I know it. I feel it. Everybody's going to get this one right. And this is just PV, so you don't have to round up. Just follow regular rounding rules, right? Because it's not a payment this time, right? This is just how much of a loan you can afford. So I'll give you about a minute to get that together. Okay, everybody ready? Let's put it in the chat in 3, 2, 1, go. Look at that. I'm seeing a lot of the same answers. Rookie, yours was off by a strange amount. What did you put for your I? Did you leave it 8 or 7?
I think it's typo.
Yeah, I was going to say. And Matt, yours too. Yours is, did you mean a 5 there?
I'm going to put a 5.
Okay, good. Because I'm like, that's a weird number to be off by $5, right?
No, I'm going to do 5.
Yep, that's okay. All right, any questions on how I got that, how you guys got that? $12,625.50. So that's the most expensive car you can buy if you're only going to pay $250 a month. Yeah. So that's the max your loan can be, including taxes and everything. The car's probably cheaper than that, right? Like, because the taxes, don't forget about your taxes and all those fees that they put on there. Okay. How do we figure out part B? How much total money will she pay the loan company? How do you figure out part B?
I mean, you can multiply 3,000 by 5 because that's 250 every month or each month. And then I
So
multiply it by
250
5.
times what?
250 times 12.
Times 12?
Yeah.
Just 12? That's it?
Yeah. I did 250 by 12 and then I multiplied that by 5.
So 250 times 12 times 5. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Or 250 times 60 payments, right?
Yeah.
Which is that 12 times 5. Perfect, Josh. Good job. So how much did Marie actually pay if she pays off her whole loan like that every month? Nice, Josh. $15,000. She didn't pay $12,625.50. She paid $15,000 for the car because she had to pay interest. They let her finance it over 5 years. So speaking of which, how much is interest then? How do you find that? Very nice, Josh. What did you do to get that answer?
You just subtract 15,000 from 12,625.
So 15,000 minus $12,625.50 would give you $2,374.50. That's how much Marie would pay in interest over that 5-year period. It's kind of a lot, right? But Marie's interest rate is pretty high, 7%, right? Yeah. Okay, any questions on that one? Do you see how now you can do your car project? Because this is what you're going to do. Now, I'm going to warn you, please listen to this warning. Do not, I repeat, do not use an online loan calculator to give you the answer to your vehicle project. It will not be correct. You must use either the formula or the TVM solver, and you need to show your work. Okay, if you don't, you will not get a good grade on that vehicle project. Okay, it's not a very hard project as long as you pay attention and read the directions and read the rubric. Okay, so but now you have everything you need. Okay, all right, excellent. Let's try one on your own. Try this second one. You can afford a $700 a month mortgage payment. So now you're buying a house, not a car. You can get a loan at 5% interest for 30 years. What's the biggest loan you can afford? So same thing we were doing there, right? You just change your numbers. And then how much money will you pay the loan company? And then how much of that is interest? So just privately chat me that when you have that answer done.
Could you write the formula or at least like link to the formula sheet so I could use that?
Yes, how do you not have that formula sheet linked already? I don't know how you're doing your homework, man.
I just, okay, I gotta go find it, but okay.
No, but bookmark it. I'll put it in the chat. I just want to make sure that you bookmark it, okay? So because
Matt, it's the one that says payout annuity. It doesn't say loans or anything. That's what confused me.
Oh, okay.
It says loans at the bottom of it.
I think
But
I
the formula sheet,
I'll bookmark it in.
here's the formula sheet in the chat. It's the one I just gave you last week with all the formulas on it. It looks just like this, the one we were just looking at, this one. There's the loan formulas at the bottom, right here. Those are loans.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
This is the whole formula sheet. This is what you'll be able to use on the test.
All right.
Where is that?
I just put it in the chat and I gave it to you guys last week.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Yep. It's also in my OneNote notebook in week 14. Don't forget, when you have your answers to A, B, and C, send them to me. If you want to verify A first before you do B and C, that might be a good idea. Sorry, Tashina, that wasn't supposed to go to you. Lee, correct. V, correct. Josh, correct. Okay, so make sure if I checked your part A that you send me B and C too. I don't think I forgot anyone. I think I have everybody's answer. All right, I'm getting lots of answers. That's awesome. All right. So I think most people who've been sending me answers have corrected their mistakes. I still am missing some answers from a couple of you. So, but let's look at this. This is just like the last problem we did, but we just changed our numbers. So let's look. So the largest loan you could afford is $130,397.13. I don't know if you've looked at home prices recently, but that ain't buying you a whole bunch right now, right? In Phoenix, anyway. Maybe in Iowa, it could buy you a little bit more, right? But in Phoenix, the home market is not that. Okay, then, so if you're using the TVM solver, notice that N is 360. Here's my TVM solver over here. The interest rate was 5%. We're solving for present value because our future value should be 0 because we're paying off the loan, right? We want to know how much of a loan we can take out. So we solved for present value. If you use the formula, here's my work for the formula, and Desmos is what I used when I did it. Then for part B, how much total money will you pay the loan if you take all 30 years to pay it off? You're going to do 700 times 12 times 30, which means you would have paid $252,000 for the house. That's a lot of interest, right? So how you figure it out is you take part B, $252,000, and subtract part A, which was the amount you borrowed, $130,397.13. And you paid $121,602.87 in interest. That's a lot of interest. It's almost the price of the house, right? And if you've looked at loans, this is actually true, right? I'm not making this math up. So the interest rate matters a lot, right? This is a 5% interest rate. Right now, home interest rates are about 3%. So it'd be a little bit better than this. And the other thing that people encourage people to do is to change this from a 30-year loan to a 15-year loan, because then you will pay less interest, right? But your payment will go up, right? So you have to make sure you can afford that monthly payment. So this is very realistic for dollars that happen in the home market. So now you can see we had a lot more problems to do, right? So we'll continue on this tomorrow. If you want to look ahead, that's fine. But after we went through those 2 problems, you should be able to do your car project now. And you can always keep working on your final exam project. I'm going to put the exit ticket in the chat for you right now. On the exit ticket, you're looking for payments this time. So try that exit ticket. Oh, I was really nice. Not everybody finished the mini lesson. A lot of people didn't finish the mini lesson. So I opened it back up for you. PF9, it's due tonight. And PF9 more practice is due tomorrow. You always have that info on taking the finance test. Don't forget to do that. You have your review, and then you have your vehicle project due next Monday. So there's lots of stuff you can be working on, right? All right, try that exit ticket. I'll stick around if you have any questions. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow.